#cold open. I got revenge on someone by doing exactly what she asked for, and it was loud enough that she could hear her entire career falling apart at the same time. So this was back in 2015, and I was working my way through nursing school as a waitress at this restaurant that was actually pretty special. No ads, no marketing, they survived entirely on word of mouth. That reputation meant everything to them. And honestly, it's going to matter a lot to how this story ends. I'd been there for several months by this point, and I'd proven myself enough that I wasn't technically a trainer, but the managers trusted me to help bring new servers up to speed. They'd throw them on the floor and I'd watch their backs, help them through the rush. It was just what we did. So one night, we get this older guy assigned to the section next to mine. Super nice guy, a little anxious, a little shy, totally normal for his first night flying solo. And I mean completely his own section for the first time. He was nervous, sure, but ready. Or so we thought. About midway through the shift, he gets sat with this table of about 6 people. 20-somethings with attitude. And they're already demanding. He comes to me panicked, asking if we have something that's not on our menu. The woman at the table is insisting they make it at the other location, that they have the ingredients, just make it. Now, here's the thing, it's his first night. He's already wound up tight as a drum. This is not the moment to teach him to stand his ground and push back on customers. So I tell him to ask the kitchen, see if they're cool with it. And honestly, they are. It's just a wrap or something like that. No problem. But here's where it gets interesting. That was apparently the signal. From that moment on, every single time this server brought her something, she immediately demanded something else. As soon as he set down the last item, there's a new request. And another one. And another one. I'm watching his face the whole time, and he is panicking. But that's literally why they paired me with him. I start absorbing his other tables into my own rotation, checking them in between his needy customers, keeping everything running smooth. He's still clearly stressed, but I've got him. This goes on for their entire meal. The whole time, she's being rude, impatient, giving him zero grace. Not a single, please, or, thank you, or moment where she just lets him breathe. During a break in the chaos, I pull him aside in the back. I can tell he thinks he's getting fired. I tell him straight up, don't worry about the tip. I know she's been awful. I also let him know I'm not touching a single dollar from his other tables because I helped. I just wanted to make sure he didn't mentally check out right there and quit on the spot. He was looking pretty close to it. And then, the night winds down. They came in late, right before our section was supposed to close, which meant they're basically the last table on our side of the restaurant. Silver lining to a stressful shift, right? That's when he comes back to me with another question. He's asking about employee discounts, specifically, can they use multiple discounts on one check? And is that okay? I'm confused. Wait. Employee? And that's when the truth comes out. This woman spent, and I mean spent, their entire meal mocking him. Tearing him apart. Telling him he was the worst waiter she'd ever seen. Why? Because she's a trainer at our other location. She knew exactly what she was doing. She made him feel like garbage on purpose because she had the authority to do it. The special meals? Yeah, she knew we'd make those because she could pull rank. No surprise there. But watching him fall apart, that was apparently entertainment for her. And it gets better, worse, actually. She's claiming there are multiple birthdays in the group. Free cakes all around. And she wants the birthday song immediately. She's ordering it like a command. Because of course she is. I felt something ignite inside me. Pure, molten rage. I wanted to throw hands for this guy. He didn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. But instead of doing something I'd regret, I told him to prep the cakes. Don't go out yet. I was going to get the manager about the employee discount, not because we needed permission, but because this was such a special case. And here's the beautiful part, our managers were absolute legends. I'm talking genuinely great people who actually had our backs. That almost never happens in restaurants. Almost never. I pulled the front-end boss aside and gave him the full rundown. Everything. The manipulation, the mocking, the demands, all of it. I reminded him about how much this restaurant valued word of mouth, how much that reputation mattered. He listened to all of it, and then he smiled. He said I could do what I wanted to do. He took the employee numbers she'd given him, and remember, she would have known those discounts couldn't be stacked, and he headed to the office to make a phone call to her general manager. Not her direct boss. Her boss's boss. Fast forward a few minutes, and I'm running through the restaurant grabbing every single employee I can find. We had people closing down all over the place, so I'm talking waiters, bussers, the dishwasher, everybody. I'm giving them the fastest, most urgent explanation, asterisk here's what happened. Here's what we're about to do, asterisk, and then I told my nervous server we were ready to drop those cakes. What happened next was genuinely the most beautiful moment of chaos I've ever been part of. This absolutely enormous crowd, and I'm not exaggerating, it was probably the biggest group we'd ever gathered for a birthday song, descended on this 6-person table. We served a cake in front of every single seat. And the woman, the leader of this table, she's got this self-satisfied smirk on her face. She thinks she's won. She's getting her free cakes, her discount, her song. And then we started singing. Except, singing, is maybe not the right word for what we did. We screamed. All of us, at full volume. And because this table was in the corner of the section, the sound just bounced off the walls. It reverberated. It was relentless. The birthday song we sang was excruciatingly long, and we held nothing back. I mean, my ears were ringing, and that pain. That still makes me smile today. Their smiles, those satisfied smirks, they dropped immediately. Hands flew to their ears. They were jumping, wincing, genuinely suffering. And we just kept going. This massive group, all of us grinning from ear to ear, screaming at maximum volume. It was perfect. But while we were all out there creating this beautiful wall of sound, our manager was on the phone in the office. He was calling her restaurant. He was telling her general manager exactly what she'd done that night. How she'd abused a server for sport. How she'd manipulated the system because she could. And then he gave them her employee number. While she was still sitting there, after the song finally ended, after we'd all filed back to our stations, she was handed a phone at the host desk. And I watched it happen. She took that call, and she started crying. I could see it from across the restaurant. She was trying to make excuses, trying to explain why she shouldn't be fired. But it didn't matter. The general manager had already been looped in. Her employee number had already been flagged. She was done. I'm not psychic. I don't know if she somehow convinced someone to hire her back at her home location. Maybe she did. Anything's possible in life, right? But I know how she treated that guy. I know the story I told my boss. And I know the rare, quiet rage that came over him when he realized what had happened, and how he channeled it into action. I would have almost given up being part of that screaming song to hear those phone calls. Almost. But not quite.